Right, everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm OGL Schmitt. You are watching Custom Creator, and I think one of the most unexpected joys of doing these reactions has been my discovery of the Lost Highway of Outlaw Country, or Classic Country, or whatever you want to call it. Guys like Hank Williams Jr., George Jones, Merle Haggard, and guy we're going to react to right now, the one and only outlaw himself, Waylon Jennings. We've actually done a version of this song. It's either called Outlaw Shit or Outlaw Bit, depending on your tolerance for profanity. And it's a song that we reacted to like a slow, almost orchestral version of it that I thought was really good. I thought Waylon sounded great. I thought the mood was really somber. Then we reacted to James Hetfield, yeah, that James from Metallica, doing a cover of it where it was fast and it was metal and James was going all James on it. It's like, whoa! And we knew there was an original version of it, but we just thought that James was bringing the metal. But apparently, this original version, it can get pretty fast too. Uh, I think in a lot of ways, Waylon was metal before metal was a thing. But this actually comes from a live show in London. I think Danny and I have both talked. Neither of us were aware that these guys went outside America to tour. And Danny knows as much about these guys as anybody, but he wasn't aware of that they had toured at any length outside the U.S. So a Cowboy in London was just a one-off concert for Waylon's British fans, and it took place in a building called the Hammersmith Odeon. Wow, like that sounds like something that would be hosting like a metal festival. But
I knew Hank Jr. had went across seas a few times and done like with the soldiers on boats, you know what I'm saying? But
and he went to Japan, didn't he?
That's when he was on the boat. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that not that they have anything against other countries. It's just country music kind of has always been a U.S. thing, but
it's a very American thing.
Yeah, they definitely had a following overseas, as you said. The British Army that was waiting on him to come over. So this is from an old Showtime pay-per-view, and I'm gonna set this one out because I've heard this so many times, but I'm right here behind the scenes. I'll probably make it back by the outro. Much love to y'all, guys.
Thank you, Danny. So yeah, let's check out Waylon Jennings talking about that outlaw bit. Maybe getting a little bit out of hand. Let's do this.
Parental discretion is advised.
I remember that sound. Parental discretion is advised.
I'm for law and order, the way that it should be. This song's about the night they spent protecting you from me. Someone called us outlaws in some old magazine. New York stood a posse down like I ain't never seen. Don't y'all think this outlaw bit's done right out of hand? What started out to be a joke, the law don't understand. Was it singing through my nose and got me busted by the man? Maybe this here outlaw bit's done right out of hand.
So first of all, those British fans sound stoked to see Waylon live. That was very cool to hear. Like Danny and I said, country music is like a lot of Americana in that. So it's cool that someone like Waylon's got international appeal. But I mean, it's Waylon. He's so charismatic. I can definitely understand how he would get a following pretty much anywhere he goes. But anyone who'd seen or heard him. The thing that always surprises me about Waylon, and I guess this is coming from sort of a rock metal background, uh, you assume that with a name like the Outlaw and a song like Outlaw a bit and sort of like the reputation he has, you would expect a voice that is just loaded with grit. Now, Waylon can bring the grit like nobody's business. You heard a few times there. But his fundamental sound, it's very deep, it's manly as hell, but it's really pleasant sounding. It's really smooth. Like he's got a great voice. Uh, I love how catchy the song is, and it's about a pretty crazy thing. There was actually a drug bust where they were raided during a recording session. I mean, that's I mentioned Waylon was metal before it was a thing. That's some crazy shit right there. Um,
Yeah, they got said in some magazine that the Outlaws were all doing cocaine all the time, and they probably were, along with Elvis and Johnny B. Good, and they were back in the day, and they all went to rehab for it as well. So anyway, that's what he means by what started out as a joke, because there was a term back in the day for cocaine cowboys, which was about really the renegades who would ship the coke over here from where was the missile crisis from into Miami from Cuba, and that was the actual cocaine cowboys. But they made a joke or something about we're the cocaine cowboys. One of them did. I forget what exactly the joke is, but yeah, while he was singing his song, they literally filled up the walls. So that's why I popped in. I was going to tell the story, but you got it, bud. You're doing good.
Thank you. Always great to hear Danny's take, but let's hear some more Waylon.
Don't understand. Was it singing through my nose that got me busted by the man? Baby, this here outlaw is tongue tied out of hand. We were wrapped up in our music, that's why we never saw. Cars pull up and the boys get out and the room fill up with law. They came down and through the back door in the middle of the song. And they got me for possession of something that was gone, long gone. Don't y'all think this outlaw bitch done got out of hand? Yeah. What started out to be a joke, the law don't understand. Was it singing through my nose and got me busted by the man? Boogity, boogity, boogity. Baby, this here outlaw bitch done got out of hand. Don't y'all think this outlaw bitch done got out of hand? Out of hand. Your lady, oh.
I think sometimes performing in front of a really like vociferous or really amped up crowd, sometimes that can make a band nervous. I think especially if they're young in their career. Waylon's been up and down the road a few times. I think that just sort of loosened him up. It's like okay, these guys dig me. So he's doing these like lines and riffs One was like the yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady. Like, where the hell did that come from? Just improvised on the spot. He's having a good time with it. Loving the harmonies in the chorus. The chorus is also catchy as hell. It's got that rhythm that you can stomp your foot to. I mentioned Waylon's voice earlier. I want to talk about his other voice, which is his guitar, which is another thing that I'm always pleasantly surprised by. So, where his natural voice is very smooth and very manly, his guitar has got like twang for days. And it's got sort of like this percussive sound. So, it always makes me think of Albert Collins, who was a blues player who I'm sad to say I most remember for being in a movie called Adventures in Babysitting, where he basically made people sing the blues. But he made it awesome. But it's got that icy sort of bite to it. And you can see him sometimes, like he doesn't do a whole lot of right hand movement or fret hand movement, but his right hand, his picking hand is really busy. Sometimes he's strumming. I've seen him use like the pick and a couple of his fingers, where it's almost like a classical technique, the four claw technique, I think they call it. It's really cool. He's not like a guitar virtuoso like Hank Williams Jr., but I think Danny said it best when he said he plays almost in boxes. But for what he does,
Well,
Waylon is great at it.
It seems like he play. Oh yeah, I'm unmuted. It seems like he plays all in the. Like if you play guitar, all open chords, but yeah, he's picking in that. He stays in the first three frets a lot. Like you'll notice here in the. I'd take me off the stage, but here in the very end here, it's hard to do. This is a whole concert.
Yeah.
But yeah, his guitar is a replica of Buddy Holly's because Waylon was the bass player for Buddy Holly before he ever even sang a note of country music.
Almost ended up on that plane that.
He got that because he was a DJ. He was actually a rotating bassist, yeah, for Buddy Holly. But they were better friends than they were closer as friends than they were bandmates. If that makes sense.
Don't you think South of gets stuck out of hand? Out of hand. Your lady, oh.
See, they stand right there in three boxes.
Yeah.
The first three frets. Never really seen anyone play that way. They go straight into the next song. They play the first four songs like that.
Yeah, his guitar style is unique, but man, he gets a lot out of it.
No doubt.
I was also thinking, I saw this in another country reaction that we did. But like you had the pedal steel, you had another rhythm guitar player, you had a bassist, and you had a guy playing acoustic guitar. So it was almost like a classical string section where they've got like a couple violins and a cello and whatever, but it was almost in a rock context. It was a rock string section where they had just a small army of guitars there with Waylon heading the charge. I always do like that sound because you got the rhythm, you got the melody, you've got that cool sound. Yeah, and the crowd was loving it. This is I wouldn't mind doing some more from the show just for the novelty of Waylon being overseas, but it looks like he's having fun, and it looks like the crowd is just really digging the hell out of it. So this is kind of a buried gem we just managed to unearth. But the song so all three versions of the song have been really, really good. I think I'm still partial to the slower one just because I kind of had that sort of like the older, more sober, contemplative sound to it. But God, this one is so catchy and so fun.
What he means by, of course, singing through his nose is the cocaine in the nose. And the coolest reference is they busted me for something that was long gone because they had the paperwork to prove that this was not Waylon's studio. They had a search warrant to break in Waylon's studio, which they were actually borrowing it from someone, something like that. Anyway, they told them at the door, "Hey, your search warrant's wrong." So that bought them just enough time to flush the shit down the toilet. By the time the bottle got in there, it was already gone. So, but they found a little residue here and there or something, so they got busted. But yeah, they flushed most of it down the toilet. Wow, whoever was smart enough to say, "Hey, that search warrant's wrong." So it took them just a few minutes to call another officer down, to bring the right search warrant, and yeah, so it's kind of a funny yet not funny story. But I will stick by what OGL said, and the outlaws of country music lived more of a criminal outlaw life than any other genre of music. I don't give a damn who you talk, the punk rockers or whatever. There might be a few bands here or there, but Merle Haggard was locked up in prison when Johnny Cash sang in it.
Yeah.
And he escaped several times. David Allan Coe was on death row when the death row was abolished. The death penalty was abolished, so he ended up getting out on good behavior. Believe it or not, Hank's the only one that's never been in jail. He has a few mug shots where he got arrested. Just one. I don't remember what it was for.
The only genre I can think of that was more criminal would have been the Norwegian black metal scene, and even then, a couple guys got sent to jail. One for both of them for actually killing another band member, but Merle escaped. Those guys are still there. Don't mean to make light of murder, but and that scene was that part of that scene was a flash in the pan, whereas the Outlaws are essentially eternal. Like if you want to talk about characters in music, mirroring characters in life, but just these OG Outlaws, Merle, George, Waylon, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams Jr. Their lives I think their music is amazing because they've lived amazing lives and they don't have to make anything up. It's not like, okay, what do we write about? It's like, okay, what crazy shit happened today? Let's just write a song about it.
Yeah, well, the next George Jones reaction we'll show the footage of where he gets arrested for the lawnmower for being drunk. he plays possum ball against as close as he can. That one cop turns his head. George is trying to kill the other one. He's like, "George, you son of a bitch." George, now you're going to have to calm down. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. You're drunk. No, the hell I ain't. Oh, well, yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Much love. 18 minutes. We ain't trying to keep you all day. Much love. Waylon Jennings, the original outlaw, the OG. That's where we got the name from. Also, first country song ever to go multi-platinum was, did Hank really do it that way? And the first album to go multi-platinum was the Outlaw album.
Yeah.
So country music owes its ass to the Outlaws, but
no doubt.
You won't hear them say that. But
Rock in Paradise, Waylon.
There's two of them still going. Hank Williams and Jr., 75 years old, and Willie Nelson, 92.
903, something like 91.
That. Still touring right now.
Yeah. Recently got sick, and it's like, yeah, I'll be back soon. Like, man, you're 90. Let's take it easy. But
he got a hall pass, though. He came back.
Yeah.
All right. Much love, everybody.
Thank you.